salutations. I assume you're here to commemorate my terrible misfortune? Ah, yes, the infamous evidence that you procured. Bravo, detective. Allow me to congratulate you on your sleuthing skills. That recording was quite a find. I must admit that I was short-sighted when it came to Ms. Swift's ingenuity. I shall not make that same mistake twice. I had assumed you would say that very statement. How predictable. I'm almost disappointed. Well, as much as I detest being the bearer of bad news, I have to disclose that you're wasting your time. You see, this imprisonment is merely an insignificant hindrance. I don't foresee being incarcerated in perpetuity. In fact, I would wager that my legal team will have my release expedited within the month. I only had the time to explain the wondrous loopholes of the UC's justice system. Do you honestly think that I'd embark on an endeavor with Miss Swift and Mr. Vera without a legal exit strategy at my disposal? I can assure you, I won't be imprisoned aboard the Vigilance for an inordinately extended period of time. Indeed. Due to your actions, my tenure with Galbank has been terminated and several million credits in fines are being levied against me. The day is yours, Agent. You should be proud. Oh, yes. Forgive my indiscretion. I should have realized this was a demonstration of duty and honor. Nevertheless, my congratulations still stand. Well, enough idle banter. I've taken up more than my share of your valuable time. Honestly, this interaction has been quite pleasurable. Do feel free to stop by and gloat at any time. Good day.
I heard we might see some action soon. Can't wait.
Mole. Yeah, it was. And you can probably guess what project it was for. Yeah, I thought you might. I heard the fleet sent you up there for some more pirate work. Even more impressive, you managed to do it without taking any lives. Maybe I misjudged you. That's more than I can say for myself, given the history of Project Archangel. We were testing prototype fighter ships, experimental engines, weaponry, the works. The four of us were the best of the best. Emphasis on the were. I was one of 4 pilots recruited for the program. My codename was Azrael. At the time, I embraced the name, the Angel of Death, hunting Crimson Fleet pirates in a prototype ship. But even for an angel, pride always comes before the fall. The official word is I was transferred back to SysDef because the need was great. The reality is I was kicked off the unit. I was so bored on that station, I spent all my time in the barracks drinking cases of smuggled booze. When the time came for my test flight, I was so wasted, one of the others had to cover for me. The engine caught fire right after takeoff. Pilot, crew, gone in a flash. No, they were just doing their job. The only one who wasn't pulling their weight was me. People tell me all the time it's not my fault. But fault's got nothing to do with it. I should be a dead man. Instead, some other pilot took my place.
I miss the sun on Jemison. Once I get time off, that's the first place I'm jumping.
I haven't seen my family in a while, but
All support ships have arrived, Commander.
You doing all right?
Good.
Feels like
After
we
we're
got
done
maybe
here,
one more
arrange a
bomb before the
briefing.
storm.
I want all of their CEOs over here as soon as
nice
possible.
work on the siren.
Yes, sir.
If you keep this up, and this operation might finally get the
There you
box
are.
passed.
Where have you been?
Resources.
We're about to pull the trigger on the largest scale operation in UC SysDev history. All of our ships, personnel, and resources have been waiting for your report. Lives are potentially hanging in the balance. So you'll have to forgive me for being so impatient when I ask where the hell you've been. You mean your latest excursion to Neon? I've received the reports about your little foray into Genodyne. Last piece of the puzzle before you go after Crix's legacy. Which means it's time to put all the cards on the table and prepare to attack the key. Good. The more confusion and panic we cause, the more damage we can potentially inflict. Before you jump to Bannock 4, I need to make one thing abundantly clear. The credits from that Galbank transport cannot reach the fleet. You have to bring them here at all costs. Delgado gains access to those resources. We might be touching off a battle we can't possibly win.
We've been monitoring the Crimson Fleet's comm chatter in the Crick system. They're gathering allies by making promises based on your success.
As much as I hate to admit it, UC SysDev won't stand a chance. The fleet will become stronger and more unified than ever. I've always known that when it came down to it, you'd do the right thing. All right, I guess this is it. Do whatever prep you need to do aboard the Vigilance, and then head out to Bannock 4. When you return here with Crix's legacy, we'll begin the attack. Good luck. The evidence you've been bringing to Lieutenant Toft has been instrumental in convincing the brass at Mast to greenlight the attack. They've sent us support ships, extra troops, weapons. All on account of your role in the operation. To put it simply, if it wasn't for you, this operation would be at a standstill. During the end of the Narion War, the money was destined to bolster the Freestar Collective's coffers. Even though we were rivals at the time, and I suppose we still are to some extent, the credits still rightfully belong to their people. After the money is turned over to Mast, I'm certain arrangements will be made to return the money to the proper authorities in Aquila City. Stay focused and be careful out there.
Has something on your mind? Even as long ago as the Narion War, Galbank used an extremely potent level of encryption on their currency. Unfortunately, the Unluck ciphers are lost to time. However, if you can bring us one of Galbank's old transfer modules, I know it would help. Don't worry, I'm sure some of the techs at Mast will be able to work with whatever you bring to reverse the encryption. Anything you can tell us would be helpful. Yeah, I heard they even sent word to some of the contacts you met. They're writing an awful lot of checks they can't cover without Crix's legacy, but we'll be ready for them. Anything else? Damn it. I was afraid of that. I'll warn our ships to use looser formations. Hopefully Durand isn't as clever as she thinks she is, or you can help us take the batteries down when the attack begins. Was that all? Okay, well, if anything else springs to mind before you leave, please let me know. Nice work. Let me take a look. Interesting. Looks like he's been meeting up regularly with Neva Mora to transfer goods and cash from Sidonia. Which means the Crimson Fleet's just lost one of their drop points. That should set them back a bit. Have any more? Perfect. Taking her out of the running is going to seriously damage the Crimson Fleet's hold on Neon. Even better, that's one less fleet captain and one less ship to worry about. That it? Benjamin Dayu, pride of the Freestar Collective. The authorities there have been trying to nail him for a long time. Bringing us proof that he's been manipulating Generdyne from the shadows is pretty tasty stuff. The FC will pay dearly for this. Good job. Any other fragments? Perfect. Komiko's wanted for corporate violations in UC territory, but having concrete evidence means we extradite her and nail her to the wall. I'm sure we can arrange a prisoner trade with the Freestar Collective, make it beneficial for both interested parties. Anything else? Yeah, you're right. But there's no way this was a solo job. Shifting all those parts takes serious manpower. I'll send this to Mast so they can shake the tree a bit, see what falls out. Looks like Durand better start looking for parts somewhere else. Find anything else? So Voss engineered a way to directly interface with the Key's mainframe? I knew he was a math genius, but didn't realize he was so tech-savvy. Well, we'll share this information with Galbank. Hopefully it'll help them shore up the security on their cryptocurrency. Have any more? We were aware that Miss LaRue was involved with Fergus Wickham. When her body was recovered, SysDef assumed he was the culprit. Sounds like we had it wrong. Should have pinned the murder on this Clay Dietrich perp. Well, we'll have to clear that up. Nice find. That it? A hot tip, huh? What kind of idiot would dig in their heels waiting for a massive payout on some of the cheapest food in the settled systems? I've seen some strange things on this assignment, but this definitely tops the list. I'll, pass it on to my superiors. I'm sure they'll get right on it. That it? Good. When SysDef stumbled across the wreckage of the ship, we were sure it was the Crimson Fleet, but we could never prove it. We found 32 dead colonists in that wreckage. Poor crew must have put up a hell of a fight. At least their families will now have some closure. Anything else? Understood. Keep searching and you're bound to find more. We'll see you soon.
The Vigilance is our flagship. Where it goes...
Looking for some
we
last-minute advice? Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Yeah. Maybe... No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life. There are much more important things to be done. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? You come back alive. You hear me?
Yes?
You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able. I'd appreciate your advice. After our last talk, I just feel a little more at peace, a little more whole. Cora's grandpa, good old Jacob, well, he just will not stop pestering me to see Cora, and that's complicated. He is not my favorite topic of conversation. My early years, they weren't good. My mother died when I was 7. Some people have such strong memories from their early life. Me, I mean, I remember her. I have some pictures. I remember the feelings, but just a few clear memories. She had these truly ancient cameras, like caveman type things. To the room with a red light, she developed pictures she took in this chemical bath. I remember sitting on a stool, looking up at them slowly fading in, and it was like alchemy to me then. And that's all I have. Just glimpses like that. She banged up her knee real good in an accident. So she went in for knee replacement. Supposed to be routine, but that damn anesthesiologist dropped the ball. And one day Mom's fine, and the next... Doctors take her away. Oh, it's all right. It's ancient history. So, Jacob raised me on his own, and... shit, maybe I don't give him enough credit. I mean, I know how tough it is, but he was strict, hard. Dad was a longtime civil servant, a big man in government, and he had a future all laid out for me. Man, could he get his hooks into you. He was scary good at that. At his height, he was some sort of trade minister. A very prominent man in Aquila City. After I came along, he stepped down to a lower posting. He still had a finger in trade all over the collective. I can't deny it. He sacrificed a lot to be closer to Mom and me. You know me too well, but I tried. I felt the weight of legacy. I wanted to do him proud. He said I had to learn the business, run some freight, see how credits flow, speak the language. Meanwhile, he's working some angle for a government job for me after. That sounded even more miserable than what I was doing. Oh, I started to. Many, many times. He'd always steer the conversation away or just use logic to dissect every little point. Once I held my ground, and he said I was an ungrateful child, not worthy of what he was doing. I know, right? Even after I was with the Rangers, Dad was just always needling, angling for me to join the government. But by then I knew myself more, and I could stand up to him. And Lillian, well, she helped. If I let Jacob into Cora's life, he'll dream up some big future for her, and tie her into knots like he did with me. A man could teach a masterclass in manipulation. Well, no. But he hasn't had much opportunity. And he's a sly one. Not sure I'd be able to spot anything. I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that freight company was silently partnered with good old Dad. And the smuggling? I wouldn't put it past him to be involved. Very involved. He always did a good job of keeping that side of the business hidden from everyone. Especially me. Yeah, but she's only 12 and... Well, I see what you did there. If I just flat out say no, I'm a hypocrite, right? I guess I got more to think about.
A lot of us had our doubts about you. But you're really making progress.
Howdy.
This is where I belong. So I hope this grid thingy is the real deal. Otherwise, it's been nice knowing you. Port is clear. Grav drive's looking nominal.
Warning, an emergency lockdown has been attacked.
So we weren't the first to make it this far. That is not encouraging. Looks like some of them did the long starve. Or went out on their own terms. Hell of a way to go.
Crew recording initiated. It's day 20 since supplies dried up. And here I am, staring at an empty poker table. Our last game. After Simmons passed, we kept trying to get together at least once a day for a game. To keep our minds off of things. Kellner and Leong were the next ones to, step away. They wanted to be together at the end. Then it was just Mayfield. We played for hours. Now I'm alone. I just wanted to, leave this recording for anyone that finds the legacy trapped above Bannock 4. That's all. For now. Going to deal myself a few hands and call it a day. I miss you, Trembly. And I'll be joining you soon. GB Legacy. Signing off. Crew recording terminated.
All you.
Crew recording initiated.
Hello? Hello? Engineer's message said they set up some kind of a recording system. Well, the red light is on, so I guess it's working. It's been a few days since I docked with the Legacy. For the time being, I'm stuck here. Every system on my ship, including the prototype shielding, is completely burned out. It's unlikely it'll ever fly again. Whatever's protecting the Legacy seems to be holding for now. Which is pretty amazing considering she's been here for almost 40 years. Long story short, I've made it to the prize, but now I'm stranded and trying to figure a way off this hulk. I gotta tell you though, it's not looking good. Not at all. I found the remains of the Legacy's crew. Looks like they're starved to death. It's obvious they couldn't find their way out. Next thing I need to do is start scouring the ship and look for something they might have missed. Guess that's all for now. Signing off.
Crew recording terminated.
Warning, vault access requires an authorized transfer module. Vault access approved. Please stand clear of the door.
To the victor goes the spoils. I said that right? This thing is old and very, very valuable. The amount of credits it's worth, staggering. Another one for the scoreboard back home. friend. Scratch one.
Unable. Repair not possible.
Time to tango. To make it so far and die. A legendary end for a legendary pirate.
Crew recording initiated.
Well, now, let's see. Another day's gone by. What's it been now? 6 weeks? Who the hell knows? Food packs from my ship are gone, so it looks like the clock's running down for me, and Issa wins. What a clever woman. I never saw it coming. I mean, I can't blame her. I was stupid enough to hand her the opportunity. Now the fleet's resting on her shoulders. I only hope she doesn't run the whole operation right into the ground. Anyway, let me just sit down in this chair. Yeah. There we go. Best view in the house. All that money staring me right in the face, and it's completely worthless. This is a nightmare. Worst kind of prison imaginable. I'd trade every last credit of it away to be back in New Atlantis, running with the Scar. Start my life over again. But enough dreaming. I've got to face the inevitable. This is where I'm spending my final days. Hopefully, someone with at least half a brain will follow in my footsteps and bring the score home to the Crimson Fleet. If anyone finds this message, tell Issa that I don't blame her for what she's done. Most important, tell her to keep the fleet strong.
Crew recording terminated. Crew recording initiated.
Son of a bitch! Nothing. Complete waste of time. I've tried everything I can possibly think of, and I end up right where I started. Oh, here I thought I was so clever. Thought I had it all figured out. First, fix my ship and get the prototype shielding back online. Second, shunt the power from the cred tank array back to the system to drain the credits. And then third, haul ass back to my ship before the EM field rips apart the legacy. 3 easy steps, right? Only problem is, I'm stuck at step 1. Every system on my ship is dead, and there's nothing aboard this ship to use for repairs. believe I came all this way just to end up stuck here like the poor bastards who ran this ship. Actually, wait a second. Issa will figure it out. I told her where I was going for a reason. She's smart. She'll know something's up when I miss the rendezvous. After all, we're supposed to split the loot. All I have to do is sit tight and wait until she figures out that something's gone wrong. Then she'll come here looking for me. In the meantime, I should start rationing my food. I could be waiting for a while.
Crew recording terminated. External communication detected. Automated recording system activated.
Legacy, come in. This is Issa Melant. Are you there, Legacy?
Holy shit. Issa, is that you? Issa, I'm here. Yes, I can read you.
Jasper Creeks. You're still alive? You always were one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm alive. No thanks to you. A month? Really? You left me to sit here and panic for a month. We said you'd wait a week, tops.
Wait a moment. I think broadcasting from outside the EM field is interfering with my comms. Did I just hear Jasper Creeks the Great admit that he was panicking about something?
Yeah. How about we cut the crap and you get my ass out of here? Come on, there has to be millions of credits here. We're rich.
You know what? I think I'm going to pass. Right before you left, remember how you temporarily placed me in charge of the fleet? Well, right then I decided to make the job permanent. All I had to do was make some alterations to your shielding plans. Mainly the footnotes where the lead technician mentions it needs more work. I even paid a tech to ensure a few of your ship's power connections were dodgy, just in case. Yet, look at you now. Frankly, I'm surprised those shields held long enough for you to make it through the storm.
What the hell? You can't do this to me. I'm in charge of the fleet. How dare you?
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, see, I thought I was clear. I'm in charge. You're dead. Well, I won't tell everyone that. I'll spin some story about you running off into the sunset with loot in hand. Oh, very romantic. The fleet will eat it up.
You don't care about the credits? Isn't that what this is all about? Fleet is family, remember? If we can't depend on each other, then what the fuck is the point?
You idiot. Don't you get it? Boarding the Legacy is a one-way journey. The technology simply doesn't exist to pull off your stupid eyes. And don't quote me the fleet's motto. I listened to that bullshit for years while you made deals and cut me out of them. You call that family? You know what? I'm glad you're alive. It's given me a chance to say goodbye. So, goodbye? There. All done.
Issa? Issa? Are you still there? Answer me.
Crew recording terminated.
Beginning currency transfer. Please stand by. detected. Structural integrity failing. Immediate evacuation recommended.
good books lately?
You're on our own again. Oh boy, shield systems are out, Captain. And shields up.
Red Corps has already finished the pre-flight checklist. That's my girl.
Screwed up, sir. I had the bogey in my sights and I just fumbled the controls.
The fleet have done a lot of
Don't
harm.
beat yourself up,
Now
kid.
we bring the heart.
They were gonna know we were here. one way or the other.
Time to show these pirates how Sysdef does
We'll get
things.
another shot. When the commander gives the order, that scout will wish he surrendered when he had the chance.
Scouts are just the beginning. Mole. Not sure. We had most of our birds in for maintenance when they jumped in. Just bad timing, really. Ensign over here managed to track down one scout that wasn't with the main group. Did a fancy yo-yo, though, and gave him the slip. See ya.
I hate to be the one who let that scout get away.
Damn fleet scouts popped up right when you jumped in. Can't believe we had.
After all this sneaking around, we're finally bringing the fight to them. It feels amazing.
Let's put an end to this pirate scum. Once and for all.
Anything new to report?
Do you have anything
I think
to
the commander wants to say a few things to you.
Good. Is that it? Is that Crix's legacy? Amazing. Ensign, take this and enter it into the data core analyzer.
I'm on it, sir.
You see, Lieutenant? I told you he wouldn't let us down.
I have to admit, I'm impressed. Encrypted or not, it's quite a lot of money to be carrying around. The temptation must have been excruciating. Of course. I have a team of decryption experts from Galbank itself on standby. If they can't decrypt that currency, no one can.
I wasn't lying when I said that we had every contingency completely covered.
It just so happens we did. And with all that money you're carrying, can you really blame us? You could have set yourself up for life, but instead, you chose to do the right thing. It's incredible. I totally understand.
I can assure you that we'll take full responsibility for Crix's legacy from here on out. Now, on to other more pressing matters.
We received confirmation that the fleet ships were scouts sent to probe our defenses. Unfortunately, one of them jumped away before you arrived.
Which means that Delgado will have the Crimson Fleet prepping defenses of its own.
We're in for a fight. But it's a good fight. One you can be proud to be in.
I've spent years studying the Crimson Fleet's tactics. Their decision to sacrifice those smaller ships told me everything I needed to know.
That's the plan. Lieutenant, if you wouldn't mind explaining our strategy.
Yes, sir. The Vigilance is equipped with the latest in hyper-resistant shielding, making it the only ship that can safely approach the key. The catch is that the key has access to 3 orbital defensive batteries that can fire electromagnetic energy. One hit, and we lose those fancy shields. Our mission is to take out those batteries. In fact, I'll be personally leading the assault on Battery Alpha. I need you to be my support.
But you won't be alone. This is where all your hard work gathering evidence pays off.
That's right. Mast is all in on this. We've managed to get 2 additional squadrons of support.
Well done. With Mast's full support, you can focus on taking out Battery Alpha before supporting the other squadrons.
We've also given you a call sign, Renegade, to help coordinate our movements during the attack.
Once those batteries are destroyed, you board the key and bring Delgado to justice. You won't come quietly. You do what you have to do. No, I don't. I knew we could count on your support. Well, this is it. After years of planning, it all comes down to this moment. All my hopes and my best wishes go with you. Good luck.
Questions? Actually, the batteries were part of the key's original design. The UC built them to bolster the key's defenses. They were worried about an outside attempt to free the prisoners, as opposed to an escape from below. Since the Crimson Fleet is now using them to target the Vigilance, they're basically turning our own weapon against us. Far enough you'll need to grav jump. I assume the fleet moved the batteries in order to have maximum coverage for any possible approach. I'd be willing to bet they shipped their track too, so we have a difficult time zeroing in on them. Nice work. Let me take a look. That's a hell of a story. I still can't believe Crix ended up being marooned on the Legacy. All that wealth, and the only thing he could do was stare at it. Can you imagine? I almost feel bad for him. It must have driven the guy crazy. That it? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. We're almost at the end of this damn thing. Be careful.
Every soldier here is ready to bring the fight.
And we're away.
out of the point. All right, fleet. Triple share to whoever takes the traitor down.
All ships, defensive formations.
I'm taking you down.
Crash down. Do or die.
I'm going to blueprint this legacy from the records of your ship. You hear me, traitor?
On the line! Crimson Fleet. This is Commander Ikande of the UC Vigilance. Surrender and prepare to be boarded.
Damn it, Diva. I needed more time.
That was a pretty shot in your grandfather. Guess you weren't needing your shields,
All
right?
Crimson Fleet ships destroyed. System, secure that perimeter. I want any stragglers rounded up for trial. Renegade, it's all up to you now. Moving. Good luck.
We're docked.
Tell Cora we're back.
Found you, traitor.
Opening fire! Okay, boy, show 'em what you got.
Massive damage.
Not gonna be your day, pal.
You did this to me. I can decrypt and re-encode thousands of credits in seconds, but something as simple as this, I didn't see it coming. Not in the slightest. And now because of you, my bomb's been activated. Which means I'm as good as dead. Now that Sistef is here, the Crimson Fleet can't afford to have everything I know fall into the wrong hands. The moment the Vigilance arrived, Delgado pushed the button, which is as good as putting a gun to my head and pulling the trigger. Simple. If I step 1 foot outside of this room, I'll explode, and that'll be that. So either I wait here until I starve to death, or I walk away and end it all. It's the Crimson Fleet's idea of punishment. You're right, I did. But I never thought I'd be staring the reason for its activation right in the face. I've paid you well, treated you with respect, and kept trouble off your back more than a few times. Look me in the eye and tell me why you've allowed this to happen to me. You owe me that much. As the fleet's reckoner, I didn't just deal with currency, I dealt with people. And some of those people target members of the Crimson Fleet and have them killed. We're not exactly welcome everywhere we go. Sending those people misinformation and clogging up their slates with garbage was almost a full-time job. Do I really need to explain this to you? There's quite a significant difference between dishonesty and dishonor. Well, now that you're here, I don't expect that you'll stay and watch my rather spectacular ending. So why don't you just get out of my sight and let me die in peace? The bomb in my chest is expressly designed to punish me for my mistakes, not everyone else. The worst that could happen to the key would be having to wash my guts off of the walls of the core. After everything I just said, you'd still be willing to help me. I must be a complete fool, because even though it makes no sense, I believe you. The only way to deactivate the bomb is through Delgado's computer and operations. You'll probably need his ID to get in. I don't know why you're helping me, but I sincerely hope this isn't another one of your tricks.
Finish the job personally? Do you really think I'm that stupid? I have had eyes on you since you blasted your way aboard the Key. And now, it's obvious you've been working for C-Steph all along. The game is over. I know what you are. Talk sense into me? You're the one who's lost their mind. What the hell happened to you? You had Grixis' legacy in your hands, and you gave it away. For what? For honor? Justice? Looking out for number one, huh? So you did pick up some of my dirty habits. Maybe I taught you too well. You know, when we were on Suarov, I saw the potential for you to become a badass pirate. One of the best. And now you suddenly expect me to believe I have been fooled the entire time? That this was some kind of elaborate game you have been playing? No. No way. For once in your life, be honest with me. Admit that you were tempted. The fucking world is falling down around me! I think that entitles me to whatever the hell I want. It is obvious that no matter what I say, you have no intention of honoring our pact. You clearly never did. I have already locked down the Key and set its reactors to overload. Soon, you, me, and everyone near this station are going to be vaporized. Let's see how far that loyalty to Sistef takes you now. Your arrogance is unbelievable! You think I'm doing this just to be rid of you? No. I simply refuse to be the first person since Jasper Grix to allow UC Sistef to take over this station. If this is truly the final chapter of the Crimson Fleet, then the message has to be sent that we did not go silently! You and I both know that the moment I try to leave the station, Ikande will either attempt to capture me or blow me out of the void. No, I refuse to go out that way. If I am going down, I am taking the Key with me. No one will ever set foot on this station again. And spend the rest of my life in the brig without a credit to my name? Why would I do that? And I suppose you want me to think it ends outside a prison cell and not in. Still, the prison door opens, just like any other. You got a funny way of showing your appreciation. Now you have the nerve to piss on the fleet and tell me it's raining? Get real. Normally, I'd say you're just an arrogant rook, talking out of their ass. But you found the legacy. So maybe doubting you is a bad bet. Fine. You win. Standing down the reactors. With the legacy gone, we're dead in the water anyway. Before you have Ikande lock me up, I'm gonna leave you with some parting words. Whether you know it or not, you're damn good at being a pirate. It's in your blood. One of these days, that's all gonna hit you. And I'll be waiting for you in my cell to tell you I told you so.
Is all that junk really necessary?
So you disarmed the bomb.
Weak.
Then, per our deal, you can tell your commander I will
Always
come
fail.
peaceably.
Pardon. Okay,
Excuse
hello.
Hello?
Pathetic.
Operation complete. Thrusters free. I could really bend your ear when you got a moment. Docking procedure is complete. Separation complete. Seals are tight. We're docked.
Nice to be back.
That was really impressive flying,
Can we
kid.
talk?
You earned your wings today.
Thank you, sir. I was just trying to do my part.
A lot of heroes on this day. Speaking of which, here comes one now.
You know, I had my doubts about you. Once a criminal, always a criminal. You know how it is. But then I asked myself, as spectacular as I am, can I do what you do? And the answer was an emphatic no. See, I'm a great shooter, but a straight shooter. And that wasn't going to win this war. What we needed was someone standing on their side, with a boomerang gun. We needed someone whose bullets curved. It was us or them, kiddo. Hopefully you don't feel guilty about letting me live. If so, I suggest skipping the second thoughts and heading straight for third. If nothing else, it's closer to home. Anyway, you got a date with the commander. I figure he'll sprain something trying to pin the medals on your chest, but in all honesty, you deserve it.
Great job. At ease, Soji. I believe congratulations are in order. With this decisive blow, the end of the Crimson Fleet is all but assured. But as much as I'd like to begin this celebration, technically we're still in the process of wrapping up the operation. On that note, Lieutenant, what do you have for me?
Reports are coming in right now, Commander. Delgado and Shinya Voss have been taken into custody. Also, we've transferred personnel to the Key to secure the location until the United Colonies decides what they want to do with the station.
And what about Neva Mora?
According to our reports, Neva led the strike force that attacked the Vigilance. Unfortunately, that was the last we saw of her. It looks like she managed to escape. We don't know her current whereabouts, but I have our operations team looking into it.
That's fine. Overall, excellent news, Lieutenant. I have to admit, for the first time in 7 years, I don't know what to say. How about you? I know that was difficult. You hanging in there? I certainly would have preferred to have reached a resolution regarding her whereabouts. After all, she was the fleet's second in command.
Just watch her back. I'm fairly certain she's not going to simply forget what you've done to the Crimson Fleet.
Let's not ruin the moment, Gillian. I'm sure our friend here is feeling quite pleased. Am I correct? You have no reason to feel guilty about anything.
No matter how close you were to the fleet, you have to remember that they're terrible people that did terrible things, and don't deserve your guilt.
I've twisted arms and cashed in some favors at Mast. I wanted to make sure you got a share of the money you recovered from the legacy. Call it a reward, a token of appreciation, whatever the hell you want. But you've absolutely earned every credit.
As UC goes, you're right in my book, Ikande. Can't believe I just said that.
Don't thank me yet. If it had been completely up to me, you'd get a lot more than they're giving you.
Now that you're rich and famous, maybe you'll still remember us little people, huh?
Decorum, Lieutenant? Damn, I'm going to be really sorry to see you go. You've really become an important part of our team. It won't be the same around here without you.
Although, if you feel like staying aboard, I'm sure I could give you access to the SysDef mission board. That is, if you can stand spending another minute with us on the Vigilance.
Excellent. I'm happy we haven't somehow frightened you away. Anyway, enough talk. You've earned a break, and I'm sure you wish to celebrate. Here's your promised reward. And wherever you might find yourself, my best wishes travel with you.
It's good to have you back.
I've got some stuff on
What
my
can I
mind.
do for you?
When you have the time.
Mast will have the ultimate say, but we've petitioned to have it refurbished for SysDef use. But first, we'll need to perform an audit of the key's overall condition. Most of the repairs done to the station weren't exactly up to standard. If the site is deemed not up to code, we're better off destroying it. That would also have political value, given the embarrassing history behind it. For now, we have a strike team dedicated to sweeping the area for explosives. Once they give the all-clear, forensics will come in to gather evidence. After that's done, then we'll start the audit of the station's condition. It's a process. That's right, since you're no longer undercover, you now have full access to our mission boards, just like other special agents. I get that. Completing the mission while having to balance different allegiances can be exhausting. Now, your objective is simple. Find the fleet and dispose of them. To that end, if you're in need of anything ship-wise, talk to me, and I'll have our maintenance crew take a look. No more bartering for scraps at the depot. You'll have full access to the best the UC has to offer. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past? You're right, I did. I suppose I'm hesitating because I'm not sure you'll like what I have to say. Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite. Oh, does it now? Was I giving off some kind of ex-con sort of vibe? Well, give me a chance to explain. I grew up in the Well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, They begged for me to look for work, but I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house. That's just it, though. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Thanks. I'm quite proud of where I've ended up. Let's just say the years after my time in the well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past, to know where my anger towards the fleet comes from. All I'm hoping is that it will motivate you to stay on the right path. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering. Yeah. I figured it was only a matter of time before this came up. The reason I didn't bring up the Crimson Fleet is, well, I was one of them. It's something I'm not exactly proud of. Common ground, but not a common beginning. I was recruited out of New Atlantis by Neva Mora. She said I was making a name for myself, and it caught the fleet's attention. I was thrilled. It was a chance at bigger and better scores and gave me a ticket off-world. Why the heck would I say no? Even if I had, I was ignoring the potential repercussions. They took me in. Delgado ran me through the paces on Suvorov, and before I knew it, I was part of the team. Now I was making some serious money. That apartment I boasted about in New Atlantis became a joke. I even made enough to buy my own ship. Oh, it dropped. Hard. Everything changed thanks to Commander Akande. The man basically saved my life. I owe him everything. You don't even know the half of it. Look, I've already said too much. I promised Commander Akande I wouldn't talk to anyone about this. All you need to take away is that I've literally walked a mile in your shoes, and I appreciate the risks that you're taking. Carry through with this mission. I promise you I'll be there every step of the way. I suppose, though the commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together a hell of a crew. 6 of the toughest pirates I could find. Oh, absolutely. I couldn't take my eyes off of any of them for even a second. Imagine trying to get some shut-eye on a ship like that. Didn't sleep much, I can assure you. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of the bunch. The only problem was that she had a hell of a temper. The smallest things could just set her off, and believe me, she took a while to cool down. Well, the positives outweighed the negatives, at first. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with ore. The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. We'd been set up, and the UC was waiting for us. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships. I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter. It wasn't brave. It was arrogant. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds. Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender. You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads. And saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, a shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it. That's what I keep telling myself. I hope to God we're both right. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keebway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think? It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know we made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance. According to my superiors at MAST, we've provided them enough data to wrap up this portion of the operation and call it a success. You've brought us a mountain of evidence against the Crimson Fleet and uncovered some unexpected criminal activity. You've done a hell of a job. Oh yeah, without a doubt. The brig is filled with prisoners waiting for trial. We've drained the Crimson Fleet's credits and solved a few mysteries along the way. I'd say that qualifies as making a difference. Oh? Well, I see we've rubbed up on you more than I expected. Anyway, here. I wanted to give you this. It isn't from Commander Akande or the UC. It's from me. It was my sidearm when I ran with the Crimson Fleet. Something special I paid a hell of a lot of money for. Now it's yours. Not true. You gave me hope. That's the best present I could ever ask for. All right, enough of this mushy nonsense. Time to get back to work.
There's no science behind it. Just an intuition I've learned to trust.
It's finally over. We did it.
Having you work with SysDef has been an absolute pleasure.
The brig's gonna be pretty crowded once we pack it full of stray fleet. A lot of them bolted once the Vigilance showed up.